surprise this is. Thank you so much for welcoming Ann and me here. What a thrill this is. In this historic spot, I feel like breaking into 76 trombones, but I will not do that right now. I'm not that good of a singer. But I do want to introduce someone who is the light of my life, my sweetheart Ann. We met a long time ago. We went to a party at Stu White's house, and she came with another fellow. She was 15. I was a senior in high school at the time. I think I was just 18, and I saw Ann. I was very impressed immediately, and I went to the fellow she came with, and I said, "Look, I live closer to Ann than you do. Why don't I give her a ride home for you?" And we've been going steady ever since. So please welcome my sweetheart, Ann Romney.
Thank you all for coming. This is awesome. I love this. Mitt mentioned that we met in high school. It's nice that we have been going steady ever since. We are the proud parents of 5 wonderful boys and 16 grandchildren. So we are thrilled to be here. I just was checking my iPad as we were coming over and found out that my boys are campaigning in New Hampshire. 4 of my 5 sons are there campaigning, and they're making news too, which is great. We appreciate them. You all know a lot about Mitt and his success in life, and I'm going to tell you another piece that you might not know, which is his success with his own family. And that's the part of my life that obviously makes the biggest difference of all. He's been the kind of guy that's always stood by me when things are tough. And it's been nice to know that when I was raising 5 very unruly boys, I love, by the way, people come up to me all the time that are mothers of boys. Anybody here just a mom of all boys? Yay, yay, okay. And they can relate because all they do is wrestle, bounce balls, and see how high they can jump. And they never clean the kitchen. I had this law of relativity, and that was if I left for an hour, my boys were always the babysitters. The oldest would babysit the youngest. They were great babysitters, by the way, but they did not clean the house. And if they were gone for an hour, it took me an hour to clean the house. If I was gone for an hour, it took me an hour to clean the house. If I was gone for 2 hours, it took me 2 hours to clean the house. And if I was gone for 3 hours, it took me 3 hours to clean the house. So I rarely wanted to leave the house because it took so much work. But Mitt was a great dad. He was very supportive, and he was by my side always reminding me that my job was as important as his, and actually he would say quite frequently, your job's more important than mine. And would remind me that his job was temporary, that my job was a forever job, but also brought forever happiness. And so I was grateful for that. And also I will tell you, in my darkest hour of my life, when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, he was there with me and stood by me when I was in the deepest, darkest hole and feeling like life was over. It was Mitt that brought me through my darkest hour. So those are the things that I'm grateful for Mitt for. He will be steady, consistent, reliable. And now that you all know the other parts of how he's been successful in everything he's done in his life, I can't wait for him to get the reins on the government and turn America around.
Thank you, sweetheart. Now I'm told you can see me without me standing on that step up there. Is that true? No, okay, I'll get back up again. You guys just want to see me fall. And the guys with the cameras, they're really hoping. It would make a great shot, wouldn't it? Look, I want to say thanks to you for being here. And, I'm surprised that my mom and dad didn't put this particular spot on their itinerary when I was taken around the country. You see, when I was a boy, my mom and dad put us in our car and drove us from national park to national park. We were raised in Michigan, a beautiful state, but they wanted us to see the mountains and the rivers and the canyons and the sequoias and the oceans, and so we went around the country. And the car we drove in, of course, was a Rambler. A few of you remember those. My dad made Ramblers, so we had one. And my friends at school, I lived in Detroit, so a lot of my friends there, their parents worked for auto companies, and their auto companies meant that they got to drive Mustangs and Camaros, and I drove my mom's Rambler station wagon. They called it Mrs. Romney's grocery getter, and indeed that's what it was. So we went around to the parks, and I knew what my parents were doing. They wanted me to fall in love with America, and I did. What extraordinary land we live in. I love that song, "Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain." If you count corn as an amber wave of grain, why, you have them right here. What a wonderful place this is. I also love another verse or two of that song. "Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife." Or soldiers. Any veterans in the room here today? Raise your hand, please. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you. The greatest generation then, and those who serve today, the greatest of our generation. I appreciate your service. There's another stanza. Oh, don't worry about that. Garrett's down here holding my chair. Don't worry. I'm more balanced than you think. Just catch me if I come down. All right. There's another verse that I like, which says, "Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years." I kind of wondered what that meant. And as I've gotten a little older, I have a better sense that when the founders of the country, the patriots, when they had a dream about what America would be, it was not just for the years they were alive, but for even our times. The patriot dream sees beyond the years. This nation was crafted with principles that are not temporary in nature, but are enduring in nature. They gave us political freedom. From the very beginning, we would have the right to choose who would represent us. And they also gave us economic freedom. We would have the right to choose our course in life. And those two freedoms attracted people from all over the world, from all different nations, to come here, because this was the land of liberty. When they wrote the Declaration of Independence, they were careful in their choice of words. They said the Creator had endowed us with certain unalienable rights. It was not government that gave us those rights, it was our Creator. They came as individuals, as sons and daughters of a loving Father. And those rights included life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We would be free to pursue happiness as we chose. This would be the land of opportunity. We are an opportunity nation. In America, we would have the freedom to rise above the circumstance of our birth and achieve whatever we might dream. And this merit society, this opportunity society, meant that those that got education or worked hard or were willing to take risks and make sacrifices, that they could achieve great rewards. And by the way, as they did that, they did not make the rest of us poorer. They made us better off. They employed us with their innovations and ideas. America's changed the world time and time again by virtue of men and women who have had this kind of passion for opportunity. Now, what concerns me today as I watch our president is that I don't think he understands America. I don't think he understands what makes us this powerful engine of economic vitality and moral strength. It is in part the principles of freedom and opportunity upon which this nation was based. I think he's tried to change us into something more like Europe, an entitlement society, where people are entitled to take from others, where government does the job of taking from some and giving to others. I don't think Europe is working in Europe. I think America is a better model for America than Europe is. I believe in the principles that made this country great. I don't want to follow President Obama's words. He says he wants to fundamentally transform America. I don't want to transform America into something it's not. I want to restore the principles that made America what it is. I believe in hard work and education. I believe in hard work and education and risk-taking and people with dreams. There was I told you about that drive I had with my parents as we Someone else is silly enough to stand on a stool here. How are you, sir? And as we went from national park to national park, they would not only teach me to see the beauty of the country, Mom and Dad would talk to us about the qualities of America. And they read to me from a book. The book they read from was one called Men to Match My Mountains. And I was with a fellow who said, Mitt, did you know that the name of that book was taken from a poem? And the author of the poem wanted to describe the quality of the people who would come and build America. I didn't know that. He then recited the poem. And I've now learned the first 4 lines. They're kind of impressive. It said this. It said, bring me men to match my mountains. Bring me men to match my plains. Men with empires in their purpose and new eras in their brains. The idea is we would be a land of people with empires, not of conquest, but empires of innovation and pioneering and construction and building. And in fact, those people who had those ideas would bring in new eras in the world. The founders of this country, with their vision of freedom, has changed the world, brought a new era. I saw a story about the World's Fair in 1850 in London. Every country was asked to send products from their country. We sent these huge crates. They opened the crates up and assembled them, and it was a McCormick Reaper. That's what we sent. And the McCormick Reaper did the work of 40 people. And by virtue of that, we changed the world, brought in a new era. We can now feed the world. And people can come into the cities and start the industrial age, which we also promoted. And then, of course, the assembly line and Henry Ford, the new economy. America changes the world by virtue of men and women with passion and vision and empires in their purpose. I love this country. Now I look at the country today, and I recognize that we can't keep going down the course we're on towards becoming more like Europe. Europe is the wrong model for America. If we become like Europe, we're going to see debts rise and rise and rise until we have a Greek-type situation or an Italy-type situation in this country. If we become like Europe, we're going to have chronic high unemployment. If we become like Europe, we're going to cease being the opportunity nation we've always been. I want to restore to America the principles of opportunity and freedom that we've had in the past. I want government to be smaller. I want to balance our budget. I want to make this the best place in the world for entrepreneurs, for small business, for innovation, for technology, so we can continue to lead the world and have the highest standard of living in the world. I want to keep America safe with a military that's unquestionably superior to any other in the world. I love this country. I love the principles upon which it was founded. If I'm President of the United States, I will do everything in my power to keep America strong and hold fast to the principles that made us the hope of the earth. I love America, and I appreciate your help. Thanks, you guys.